Today, we're sneaking past guards and venturing through an abandoned neighborhood to reach a deserted hospital near the site of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. On March 11, 2011, a devastating tsunami struck the power plant in nearby towns. Victims were rushed to the Futaba Psychiatric Hospital, many requiring constant treatment. Unknown to most, backup generators that were keeping power to the building were on their last legs and quickly began to fail. Soon, pipes began to burst, flooding rooms and hallways, and patients who were reliant on machines fell to the mercy of the struggling staff. By flashlight and candlelight, workers assisted those in need, but they soon became overwhelmed and made critical errors in patient care.
椅子に本当は座れない人たちがいっぱいいたんですよね。あれね、座っちゃいけない人がいっぱいいたんだけど、その違い。
Soon, more fear and panic grew as power plant employees were seen rushing away from the power plant nearby. One staff member called out to a passing worker and received a chilling response. "Get out of here, it's over for this town. The plant is in bad shape and will explode." That night, 5 buses arrived, evacuating 209 people, including all the hospital staff. However, 129 patients and 98 in a nearby nursing home were left behind.
病院関係者とか入院してる人がみんなに逃げたんですかって避難したんですかって言ったら自衛隊の人が何も言わなかったんだよね。
5 days later, buses returned, by which time most patients left had died. The remaining survivors were relocated to a nearby school, where they also died. Graduation flowers meant for celebration were placed on the deceased. Early one morning, with minimal sleep, we ventured deep into the red zone to find the hospital and uncover the tragedies that had occurred inside. Come along as we explore. Getting caught inside the red zone would mean immediate arrest and possible disappearance. All we had on our mind was getting inside without detection. That right there is the hospital. Is that car? Wow. That thing is massive. Look at that. Oh my god. Those are all cars. Dude, this is a parking lot back in the day, but now it's just completely overrun with nature and just leaves. We're just walking around trying to find a way in, and it's just car after car. Right there's one, and then over here in this kind of parking lot are some more just completely overgrown. You kind of see a speck of white, and they're just all around, just all completely overgrown. And as we're walking up the driveway to the hospital to go explore it, there's even another car just here sitting and being overgrown. Right here we have the path that leads throughout the hospital itself, and you can see tire marks. And so security drives through here every single day and checks the building. And so it's very, very scary to be in here, but we're gonna go inside and we're hopefully gonna make it through. Out of the thousands of buildings inside the red zone, security only patrols inside this one, possibly trying to prevent people from seeing what really happened inside. Alright guys, so we just found a way in. This is a side building, but everything is connected through a big skywalk. Here we are at the kitchen. It smells absolutely foul because, I mean, all the food is left here. Right here are the dishwashers. We have quite a few bowls and plates. Wow. I mean, this hospital is gonna have everything left behind, from blood bags to pills to everything. And we just have to find a way to it without getting caught. This seems to be a little lobby area. Let's try this door. Oh, it does. Dude, we're in. We're in? Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yo. Oh my gosh. Just looking through the hallway, we see everything is left behind, from the chairs to the beds. Wow. And so on all the walls, we do have old writings and notes. These seem to be instructions on how to eat properly. And I mean, just walking through the hallway, it just feels so apocalyptic. We can see an old rubber boot there just laying on the floor. And then directly to the left, we have pretty massive stairs going up. And this is gonna lead to the skywalk. But look at this natural lighting. And we have 4 chandeliers right there in the shape of balls. They do look very, very cool. And we even have locker rooms right here. So that makes me wonder if there's a pool somewhere around where we are right now. Okay, so this is just another entrance to it. But I mean, just looking at the door, we could see a bunch of umbrellas still here. Even the loafers. And then in these cabinets where you put your shoes, just at this one, for example, the shoes are still there. All right, but without further ado, we're just gonna go up and go to the skywalk and just make our way into the main hospital where we're gonna see all the cool stuff. A little bit of decay is starting to happen. We see a lot of black mold right there on the walls, and the floors aren't too clean either. Look at all this rust and water just pooling up here. I can already kind of see the hospital right there. And so if we follow this hallway, theoretically, that should lead right to it. And so the first thing we see is an old, just hospital bed right here. No cushion or anything, but strange, just laying there. And there's a lot of natural lighting coming in from both sides, the right and left. And we even have these old alarms on the wall. And that would be pretty scary just seeing these go off. Just a red blinking light. And probably an eerie sound to go with it. And so this part we're walking on right now is actually the skywalk. If we look kind of below us, we have the parking lot and the road too. And so we're walking over to the main hospital building, and hopefully you see the cool stuff there. All the parking spaces are all mossy and green. It looks very, very apocalyptic all throughout. And we can even see some cars peeking through here and there too. And so here we are at what looks to be a main area of the main hospital. It's very open. We have some chandeliers on the ceiling and very cool murals even on the wall. And so I think this was the office space of the actual hospital. And this is where they got their paperwork done. And if we look inside one of the rooms themselves, I mean, we could see everything is left behind. This is really amazing. A bunch of stuff is on the floor from the earthquake and animals. But I mean, other than that, it's in pretty pristine order. I mean, definitely a work area though. I presume maybe 7 people would just sit around this big table and just do their work. Even over here, a calendar from March 2011. And I mean, looking at the tables a little bit more, we could even see watches are left behind. We have one, another one here, and even a third. I mean, if these people were out of this room when the tragedy happened, you know, when their personal belongings were here, they couldn't go back for it. And they just had to keep it here and deal with it. That's very sad. They could have had $1 million on these tables and they wouldn't be able to go back. And as we walked in this conference room, completely adjacent from the other workspace, a lot of books just on the shelves, pictures, everything like that. But the cool part is we have a very, very good view of the parking lot. And take a look at that. We can see all the cars from a lot better angle. Just there. I can already see 4 just completely hidden away in all the brush. That's very, very apocalyptic. These footsteps we're seeing on the floor is not us. This is actually the workers and police that go here and scout out this building and make sure no one's inside. And there's a lot of them. I've been seeing them in almost every single room. And so we have to be very, very careful and alert at all times.
In addition to muddy footprints, we kept hearing loud sounds and what sounded like footsteps on other floors, creating a very nerve-wracking environment.
Right here's a little stairway. It's the second level. And I mean, there's just endless hallways going throughout. This place is massive. Just going through this first room, it smells terrible. And that's because of all this food right here. So much rotten stuff. Just all over the floors and in the shelves. And then right here, a meeting area. And then another calendar for March 2011. But this definitely seems to be a lobby area. Outside these glass panes is the waiting room. And then right here is where the attendants and the workers would sit. We even have all their walkie-talkies. Actually, no, these are razors. And through this window right here, you'd speak to the patients or to whoever. And then we still have so many chairs still set up around this small table right in the middle. They don't look very comfortable though. There's no cushion or anything, it's just wood. Great natural lighting though, and we can have a very good view of just the nature all around. It's all overgrown now, but I'm sure before it would have been very well trimmed. To the right, we have even more waiting areas, more of the wooden chairs, and even a lot of canned goods right here. There's just a bunch of cigarettes in them now, but it seems like this was a applesauce container. And then through here seems to be a cafeteria. I mean, all the tables and chairs are still set up to the day it was before. There's no really food on the tables or anything like that. But through here, this kind of garage door, this would be the inside the kitchen, and you can just come up to this and order from here. Even looking outside the window, we could see that there's a net right here. And so it's very sad, but that's to keep people from just jumping off. And as we go along these hallways, there's so many rooms on the right and left. And I mean, they're all stocked completely. A lot of these areas are also very well personalized too. There's a lot of personal items, such as these cassettes right here. We even have a lot of storage space right underneath the bed, where we have shoes, clothes, and other things like that. The drawers are also still stacked. Bro, there's thousands of rooms just like this, completely stacked up with so much. And this is just a glimpse of one of them. Another calendar from March 2011. And over here, this is really eerie. One of the patient's shoes, just here. And you could see it even left a mark on the floor. These have not moved in a long time. And so the person probably got up to their bed, took their shoes off, and then when the disaster happened, they just ran away, didn't even bother to get their shoes. And in this hallway right here, we have padded rooms. These are for the mentally insane. And I mean, it kind of looks like jail cells. All you have to look at is just a little bit of outside light and kind of jail bars right over here. And this is the toilet they had to use. You could tell someone actually stayed here because of the bed right here. And I mean, the living conditions aren't that good at all. Imagine being just surrounded by this and having that door closed. And this whole hallway is pretty much the same thing. Right here we have some entertainment for them, some anime magazines, and then just a lot of clothes and whatnot scattered around the side of the hallway. But all of these doors we're passing is the same deal. I mean, you could take a look at the locks they used. It's pretty crazy. Here's another one of the rooms. Kind of hard to see inside, but it's the same basic thing. And throughout most of this exploration, we've been on floor 2, And now we're gonna go up these small stairs and see the 3rd floor and what that is like. I mean, just looking up, there are so many additional floors that we have not even stepped foot in. And so this place is definitely gonna be pretty wild for sure. And just starting off floor 3, the first thing we see, a lot of wheelchairs and then a lot of cubby space for shoes, with a lot of them just scattered around on the floor now. And directly behind is the view of pretty much an apocalypse movie. I mean, each floor seems to have the same basic layout. We saw the same thing on the 2nd floor, the lobby area right here, and then the waiting area. But after the tsunami and the earthquake, a lot of people took refuge right here in this hospital, and that's why there's so many beds here. And then after they found out that there was radioactivity spreading, they had to evacuate. And I mean, you could still see with the bed sheets that they just like ripped them off and left. They're not made at all. Wow. This is very crazy. Yeah, it definitely does seem to be the same thing. We have the lobby and the kitchen all the way back there too. Here's a look at some of the patient rooms. And in contrary of the bottom floor, all of the cushions themselves have been taken out, so it's just the bare bed frame.
Did you see outside?
Outside?
That's a suicide net.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I wonder if it still works right now.
Yeah, I was wondering that actually.
I kind of want to jump on it, but...
Same.
Yeah.
I was thinking of like an escape if someone comes, we just like jump down there like some James Bond stuff.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That'd be bad if that broke.
Yeah.
Also, where would you like?
I don't know, maybe like through one of those windows right there or something.
Yeah.
This seems to be the top floor of this building though, but there's another building adjacent to this one with probably triple the floors. So we'll head to that in the near future. And this is the view of what the common bathrooms are gonna look like. Nothing really too fancy. In Japan, they even have fancy urinals. Wow, very futuristic looking. And then even on the windows, there's bars on them. So I mean, you can't escape. Even if you break the window and try to jump out, you have the bar. And so you're not going anywhere. We keep trying to find our way around to the really cool places, but the thing is, the security locked all of the stairways but one of them. And so you can go all the way up to the top floors, but only with that stairway. And so if security comes, they pretty much trap you. Oh my. Kaiser. Biggest spider I've ever seen. Biggest spider I've ever seen. Yeah. Whoa. That thing is huge. I was gonna go through that door, but maybe not anymore. But yeah, man, this seems to be another recreational area. We see a bunch of chairs, tables. The lighting isn't too good down here because it is on the 1st floor and it's surrounded by just overgrowth. However, this lobby area is definitely very, very cool. If we look inside, there's just so much stuff. A lot of files right over there. Laboratories and whatnot, and a storage area, really. Another calendar all the way there at the end from March 2011. And I'm not sure what that says, but it definitely means something like lobby. And then from here, we have that hallway, and we have this hallway on the right. They are pretty much the same things, they're just for housing. Definitely a lot of storage. All in Japanese, can't really read all this, but there's a newspaper right here. Seems to be of a disaster, some sort of fire. There's a lot of stuff on the floor too, just scattered around. There's mysterious stairs going down, who knows where. But I mean, it's just pretty much the same basic layout. Got the meeting space right here, and then places to talk to the patients or visitors. There's even tons of personal belongings. We have a bunch of different clocks and even coins. I mean, if we added all this up, we could probably be able to pay for a meal. wallets right here too. Probably still have money, credit cards, all of that. There's a pile of them right here. Completely full. And so we're gonna see a lot of different rooms still stocked up with just beds and personal belongings and things like that. And this is an example of it. It seems to be just a 2-person room, 2 beds. They each had their own side. And then more tools to move people around. But I mean, all of these rooms are just completely stocked still with all their personal belongings, all the beds and everything. And then right here at the end, we have a door leading outside. And just to show you guys the measures that they've made to keep this place locked. Look at this, they duct taped the door closed maybe like 3 times. But this is a very, very good view. Look over there, 2 cars just there in the parking lot. And so we just found a way up to the balcony, and here we are on the 2nd floor with quite a better view of the cars. And then I did notice a really hidden one. I don't think Stringer Media can see it, but it's like right, I'm trying to find myself. There's a car driving on the main road that's blocked off. That's the security.
There's a lot of places to hide.
So it's 6:04 right now, and the security's already driving around. But let's start exploring the 2nd floor. I assume the lighting's gonna be a little bit better since it's not downstairs. But I mean, the vegetation is still coming up to the window, and this is the 2nd floor, so that's pretty insane. But this room is really cool because of how personalized it is and how much personal belongings are left behind. Look at this bed right here. This was definitely a kid that stayed here. Wow. I mean, the dresser just filled with little kid stuff. There's a clock. And then her kind of roommate was over here. Seemed to be another kid. Bunch of stuff still in the drawers. Shoes right there, calendars, everything like that. And so now we're just walking around pretty much aimlessly through hallways, meeting rooms it seems to be. But we're just trying to find a way inside the cool. There's a stairway.
Yes.
This could be good. I don't know if this is the main building yet.
Wait, no, we've been here before.
Since police keep various doors locked in order to trap and catch explorers, navigating through the different buildings was near impossible without prior intel.
So we just need to find a way inside the main building, which I'm very happy about. And the first thing we see are these these are gloves, but they're like red and bloody. They're all brown now, kind of. And so this is the staircase that we're gonna use to go up. We see a lot more footprints from the workers and police. And it's just a spiral staircase going up throughout the whole thing. That's where we were before, trying to get in here, but that door is completely locked. And at the very top of the staircase is this massive gym right here. Extremely tall, 3-story tall gym. A lot of natural lighting coming here as well. Look at the basketball hoop all the way up there. And then there's a bunch of rooms on the left. It seems to be filled with equipment. Yes, we have all the balls right here. Nets too. Whoa. But this hands down is definitely the biggest gym I've ever seen. Wow. And this is at the very tippity top of this main hospital building. There's even beer cans in the middle. At the end of the gym, Stringer Media actually pointed out to me, if we look over here, it's an amazing view of the cars in the main parking lot. Whoa. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars at least that we could see. I'm sure there's a lot more gonna be there that are just completely covered up and we can't even see it. But this right here is the main road, and that it's blocked off, but security still drives through it. And so all the buildings around here, all the houses, all the more hospitals, thousands of buildings are just blocked off on this road. So we're just walking around almost aimlessly because this hospital is so big. And we found on the first floor, this seems to be a pharmacy. First thing we have a calendar from March 2011 on the door. But other than that, I mean, this is a full-on pharmacy. Right here we have a basket completely filled with pills. Look at all this stuff. And as we keep moving along, we have this main table right here with all of these different medications just sitting on the table right here. A lot of papers too, folders. And in the neighboring room, we just have even more stuff. There's a lot of beds there too. But I mean, this is just once again another section that was used for the housing of the refugees after the disasters here. So we just have all the beds just laid out over here. There's a lot of watermarks on them too, a lot of stains. There's even a safe all the way there. And we also have some dolls and instructions on how to do CPR. But I'm sure before they added these beds, there would have been chairs all lined up around here. And we have this desk office space filled with a lot of these bobbleheads. That was probably the cat of the person that sat here. We have his old-fashioned phone. And then this next room is just a full-on office space, just for a bunch of workers. This one, for example, their jacket and bag is still on the chair. And I mean, the papers are still shuffled around. It honestly just looks like a regular office that just went home for the day, apart from all the decay and the smell and all that. And this was from the animals that just broke in there to eat whatever juice was left. This is so apocalyptic. And look at this, photos, maybe a family. We have their own personal calendars, the computer, and then some notes over here. There's percentages, milligrams, grams, all of that stuff. And their phones too. And then right through this door, we have one of the entrances right here and a bunch of space for shoes and the cubbies right next to it. A lot of umbrellas too. In Japan, it rains a lot, or at least the month we've been here, which is July, but it has rained every single day. So there definitely is a very vital need for umbrellas, without a doubt. And so this is the reception area. This is where the public could walk and they can navigate through these hallways. If you need to go up the stairs, they would be right there. And then inside the glass panes where we just were is where the employees would work every single day. There's even a waiting room right here. Very nice ceilings with the cool chandelier as well. A lot of natural lighting too. And I really like how the green cushions kind of complement all the vegetation outside. And it seems like it would be definitely a very nice calming room too. You can see all the different plants that are here that once were alive, just on the windowsill. And then 2 traditional Japanese vending machines. A lot of drinks. Vending machines in Japan mostly only sell drinks. I haven't seen any with snacks or chips. Very cool, and we have the prices right here. So this stuff is probably gonna range around 70 cents to maybe $1. So it's really not that expensive in American money. Along the public hallway, right beside the office space, is also a bunch of rooms on the right. This one, for example, leads outside, and it's kind of like a locker room for all the employees to put their stuff in. all their personal belongings, shoes, of course. And even the walkway is just so overgrown. There's moss growing all over on the ground. And even the skylight above is just overtaken by nature too. And we just finished exploring the hospital now, and it's time to get out. But the very scary thing is, this is the road that leads throughout the hospital. And you can see that there's pretty fresh tire marks. And so security drives through here almost every day, it seems, and they check the buildings. So it's a very big place, but it's also very scary to be into. Just keep your ears out if you hear a car. This whole road is active with security, but it's blocked off to the public. And right over there is the guard post. Oh my gosh. Do you wanna? And we have a whole neighborhood here as well. That's the hospital. Absolutely massive.
As we promptly left the red zone and started to drive away, thoughts of what we just came across rushed through my mind. All the scary moments they would have experienced, chaos, and most eerily, the people that were left behind to die inside. However, I'm still glad I was able to go inside and document before it's gone forever. Thank you for watching.